This is a hike I did up at Valley of Fire. It wasn't a super eventful hike. Um, I kind of got lost, so it's good and instructional for desert hikers how you can get lost, how a person can get lost and mixed up. And I mentioned lake bottom, interdune oasis lake bottom layers. It's important because that's where the tracks are. And so I'll show a few pictures of those of what they look like and what they don't look like. And so let's go to the hike. Let's go to feature one. That's feature one. Let me zoom back. To start with, I walked over and ended up having to go all the way over here and down here and over rocks and through canyons and across here and down through this canyon. And then up here, and I thought this was a dead end, and I climbed up here, and there I was at feature number one. And I had to come down and go across here and up here, thought I was at a dead end again, and climbed up, and there I was at feature two. And I went up here and took pictures of this colored area of the colored sandstone that I'll show the pictures. Took pictures across from here of that. But I've been down in here right at it and all down in here and all over the place. And then I came back down here through this canyon, up and over and down through here, and I come to the first junction. That's where I took that picture. And then I did a foray up here, taking a picture of what I thought how to get to Mouse's Tank if I would have wanted to go there in the future. This isn't the way to get to it. It's further down, way down here, so that shows how you can get mixed up. And then I went through here, up and over, and down through here, all over Hell and Creation, down here to the main junction one, which, well, two. It's the second one that I encountered, the main junction. And then I went through here. What turned out going in through here where I took the picture is leads to these dead ends that I kept running into. I was down in among here, back and forth, couldn't find my tracks. Turned out I had walked over sandstone so that my tracks were invisible, and went up here, decided not to go up in there. And yeah, now I see that I wouldn't have made it. And then came to here, reached a dead end, climbing up there. and where I say, you're crazy if you think I'm going down there. That was right here. That was right here. Okay. I says, I'm not going down there. So I go back up, come back. Couldn't find my tracks. Found them, went over here, come back, and go back pretty much the way that I came. This was not an easy just walking along hike, by the way, like a Kenny Beach hike. And then I come back, and then it was getting late, so I went up this way and climbed up there. I had to take my chances, so I went this way. This is the way that I came in. I wouldn't take this route again. And so uh, that's it. So the main thing is when you're hiking among the sandstone, you want to look for oasis lake bottom layers. Otherwise, you're just looking at dry sandstone, dry sand dunes with nothing in it. And so let's do that. Oh, I want to go to the pictures. So let's look at the pictures because it's easier for me to narrate here, and it's very hard to do, while hiking. And sometimes I lose my voice out there, and there's wind, and so anyway, I was also testing my boots. I got a deal on these, 270 bucks They're normally like more than $400 boots because they're size 14 and nobody else had them or could get them. They're Lowa tibets. They're a heavy, kind of clunky boot that you don't want to wear like rock climbing, not stuff like that. This shows the cave, one of the caves in feature number 2, that shows that there's nothing in there. There is no reason for me to risk being killed to go up inside here, up inside there. There's no reason. It would be a risk uh, without reason, unreasonable risk. These are concretion material. This is not lake bottom layers, but it looks similar to it, but it's not. You have to learn to tell the difference. I took this on the hike. This is concretion material. This is the way that when you see this view, if you go down in there, when you go through here, you're going to be going into virtual dead ends unless you want to do some hardcore climbing and dropping down, stuff like that. But this is the view where I went and it turned out to be dead ends and I came back out the same way. This is junction 1 that I came upon. It shows how you can get mixed up because I kind of thought this could be the main junction. In other words, I thought I was already there. No, I had a long way to go to get to the main junction. Now, these are lake bottom layers across from Mouse's tank. Oasis, limestone, lake bottom layers, and yes, they fizz like crazy if you put acid on them. That's what lake bottom layers look like. It's a big find if you happen upon it, no matter where you're at, because it means it was an interdune oasis. That's where the dinosaur tracks are. Lake bottom layers, this part up here, this is waterlogged sandstone, the bottom of the lake. This is the limestone. Close up sideways looking at the limestone. Close up. This is limestone. Another view of it, because this is what you want to learn to spot. See the layers? See the papery layers? Concretion material won't look like that. It won't have the paper thin layers like that. There's what it looks like from the distance. This is from like 100 feet away. There's the microphone I was testing. It worked well. There's the lake bottom layers, the gray. So learn to watch for them. This kind of shows how you can get lost in among the sandstone. It's worse than this. This makes it look flat. It's not. If you get in there and go the wrong way, you'll never be seen or heard from again. This shows the interdune oasis, how it looks, the concept of what was there. Important papers have been done on that site of where I just showed you the lake bottom layers. That's what this is based on. That's what this is from. This is from Steve Rowland's paper on the interdune oasis lake swale right there across from Mouse's tank. They can be vast. So if you run upon those layers, they could be all over the place, and that's where the life is, at the edge of the lake, not up in the sand. See, the lakes are there because it's the water table is just below the sand, not because it rained and water got in. That is the water table. I thought that was a nice picture. You know, I took that picture of the little female ram, and it was just a pleasing picture of, you know, the expression on her face. These are compaction bands in sandstone that papers have been done on. It is from compaction and fracturing of the sandstone. It has nothing to do with paleo fluids flowing through the sandstone. Compaction bands. Feature number 2 from a distance. If you're up above Silica Dome driving in, that's what you're going to see. See there? That's the view that you're going to see. This was, I call feature number 2 in the video. And there's my boots. And so now I will attach the video just for my own personal reference. It's not really a video. people would want to watch from beginning to end, but I want to upload it because it stays there forever and it documents that particular hike. This is a test recording to make sure the microphone is picking up. I'm determined to go down there. But I'm also determined to go over there. See that feature there? So I'm going to have to work across. This is a good test of the microphone because it's pretty windy. See, the thing about watching hiking movies, especially desert hiking movies, is that, see, like right now, I'm down, and so I start filming. And so that's all that you see, because the part where the person, they could have been killed, it's impossible to film while you're doing it. And so it gives a false impression about the hike. That's something to remember. See, I made my way up from down below. Actually, where I've been, you can't see it, it's all hidden. But I made my way up, and I've got to get on the other side of this thing for the first feature. This is kind of a test for the microphone because the microphone is zipped underneath my hooded top. And it's windy. Also, when hiking in the sand, the old sand dunes, number one thing, always look for lake bottom layers because that means it's an interdune oasis where there could be, you know, prints. Okay. I'm kind of at a dead end, so I either have to go up and over or turn back. That's one of the risks with being, you know, off the trail, off the charts. Okay, it wasn't a dead end. It almost was. I came up and over, and I arrived at the first feature. This is 30 frames per second. Okay, I came up and over there where I thought it was a dead end, or it could be. So I came up, and luckily, I arrived at the first feature. So this is 60 frames a second. So here's a test pan. 60. Okay. I'm at feature 1, and there's really nothing remarkable. Obviously, it's just little caves and sandstone. So now I have to work way over to feature 2, and I hope I can get down there. That should be more interesting. There's Silica Dome. This is still 30 frames per second. Okay, I just walked over a little ways, and there's feature 2. So you think it looks easy, but see, there's big canyons and stuff. It's not like what you think. But that's feature 2. One way or another, I will get over there. This is where you got to do route planning because I'm up on top and I've got to get down in there in that canyon. I could go over there. Now that canyon, I'm going to be down in there. That's on my route, likely. But I got to make my way down. And you can see, that's a lot of climbing. I could fall, be killed, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to go up first, up there, and see if I can get over. But now is when you want to make the decision, not once you get down there. Okay, I'm going to be able to make it. And also, see that slot canyon? That's going to be where I go. That's where I go afterwards, because I have a route that I want to keep instead of just wandering aimlessly. But it looks like I'll be able to make it. And now I've got to climb up there and go over to feature number 2. I'm a little bit further. I think for the feature, I'll have to climb up. Well, I'm not going to go up there. It's not that I couldn't. I could, but that would mean basically going all the way back up to the top and starting over. So I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go back and find another way up to feature number 2. This is a dead end. The usual disclaimer, I could go up there, I've done worse, but that's not what I'm doing on this hike. I'm not going up there, you know, and fall and break my back or whatever and get caught in the rocks. No, I'm going to find another way. Oh boy, okay, I made my way up, and there it is. Now the goal is to get inside of it. I just want to see what's there. There's little caves down below. You know, it looks easy to go inside, you know, but what if you fall and get killed? So I'll assess the situation. But I already see there's nothing special in there. I could do it, but I'm not going to. So with all my camera equipment on my chest and a backpack, what if I fall? You know, I'd be killed. I'm not going to do it. A pan test at 30 frames per second. A pan test, 60 frames per second. Okay, listen up. Now, it turns out I could make it up there easier to take pictures and stuff of the inside. I could make it there. I could make it up easier than over here where I said if I fall I'll be killed. Okay, but I'm not going to do it. Why? I don't look, can I make it up? Anything like that I look at, I say, can I make it down? Now I can make it down, and this one I won't be killed. Okay, but I'll spill, I could break ribs, I'll damage my camera. So I'm not going to go up there. I don't look, can I make it up? I look, can I come down it? Because when you come down, you're not going to be able to see your feet. You'll be on using your hands and your feet, looking between your legs, and then you get down to here, and you go there, you go sideways and crash. I'm not going to do it. My new boots are doing good. They're Lowa Tibets, size 14. I got them for 250 bucks plus tax. See, there's feature 1, and I was way the hell on the other side of it. So I had to hike for a long time just to get to it. That's feature one. I've been all down in there and there, and I went down. I've been up and down it. So where I'm headed actually is over there. See, you can't see it, but see there's a canyon that I just had to come through. So I'm going to go back down and work through the canyon. But yeah, you bet I've already been there. I've been all over the place at Valley of Fire. Now I'm back down in the canyon, and I'll continue on. This canyon, of course, is a fault. If you look on Google Earth, it's a big long fault. There's what it looks like in person. If you love sandstone, you know, this is a good little hike. However, this particular hike I'm doing all in one strata. It's all Jurassic sandstone. So geologically, this would not be considered an interesting hike. Looking north, I came through the canyon, and I believe I'm coming up on the junction. I'm just showing what's here. And when it comes to the sandstone, people that are new to it, their thing is to look for cartoon figures, some kind of shape in the sandstone that they can apply a name to. What I look for is oasis, lake bottom layers. Everywhere. I even look way up high. Yeah, because if you spot lake bottom limestone layers, then you've got it made, because that's where the tracks were, or still are. Now here's a junction. I've got to decide whether to go that way or that way. I'm going to go to the left because I want to go over to the what I call the pinnacles. If I go that way, I'm going to continue on, and it comes out at Mouse's Tank. Yes, I'll do it. I don't want to do it right now. I'll go down here a little bit further to document it, and then I'll go this way. There's this junction again from a little better vantage point. This would be passable, but it'd be nasty going through sticker bushes and stuff. Also, that's not the way I want to go. I'm just documenting what's here for future reference. So I'm going to go back and go to the left at that junction. Now I'm getting ready to make the turn to the left at the junction, but see, there's what I look for. Limestone lake bottom layers. That's what to look for. The problem is that isn't it. I already know it's concretion material. So I'll give it an inspection and take close-ups. Because if this is oasis lake bottom limestone, that's big. That's a big thing. See, there's the most interesting piece. And it's not limestone. It's concretion material. The dead giveaway, you look around, there's concretion material. That's what it is. Also, I have my hydrochloric acid, and it doesn't respond to acid at all. Oh shit. I'm going to have to go down it. There's no way to work around. You know, I'm going to have to go down it even if I have to lower my camera and my pack with the rope that I brought. But it's got to be done. I came from there. Oh, there's Silica Dome. But anyway, it came from that canyon there. The canyon's kind of obscured by that rock there. And here's the real junction. See, this is the junction, and that thing there is what shows up on Google Earth. And then going that way, if you turn right, in other words, towards the west, that goes back towards, you come out at Mouse's Tank. See, they laid a cable up here for some reason. That's not a cable, that comes from those trees. Either those or that one. I just met two people. Adam, who has a web page, and he's a guide, and he was hiking with an Asian lady. I took their picture, but they kind of startled me because I was walking along and then I heard human voices. But they were very nice. So I've come up this way a little bit. This is going back towards Mouse's Tank, but I'm just documenting it. So I'm going to head back and go back by way of the Pinnacles. They're going left. I'm going right. I'm as far as I want to go here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up there where you can see the berm is, to take pictures and document it for future reference. But I've already been up here, and I don't want to keep going and come out at Mouse's Tank. Looking back for reference, and there's where I came up, and this is as far as I'm going to go. Boy, the wind is really blowing. So I'm at like a concept of a continental divide here. And so I'm just documenting what's there if I went further, or if a person wants to come here and go further. You could go through there, or you could go through there. See that path? That's probably for the rams. This is more concretion material, not to be confused with lake bottom, like interdune oasis lake bottom. See this material? See, some of this is across from Mouse's tank, where the where those lake bottom layers are with the dinosaur tracks and stuff. So a lot of people thought for a long time that the lake extended across to the other side of the road. It didn't. What's over there is the same concretion material. Now, this is the main junction where I did what I would call a foray to the south back behind me. And there, when I was coming back, there was another junction that looked similar. And I thought, what's wrong with this picture? The bushes, something's wrong. So I go a few hundred more feet, and here's the actual junction. That's how people get lost. So, first of all, look at how light colored this is. See, there's the bush from Google Earth. See, now I know where I'm at. Okay, this is the way I came down from that canyon there. So this is the way to go here. See, I went traipsing off. As a matter of fact, I did turn off and went traipsing off on what was the wrong route that I intended. This is the one. 30 frames per second. "60 frames per second. See, it shouldn't make any difference because I'm not panning left to right. Look at the size of that boulder. That's called a choke stone. Biggest one I've ever seen. Wow. That must weigh a couple of tons. I bet a lot of people have crawled through there. You're crazy if you think I'm going down there. That's why I said, you're crazy if you think I'm going down there. You know, even if you drop down with a rope, who knows where it goes? You could be going into a trap. There's the rock that's ready to fall for reference. I have no choice but to go this way. And if it doesn't pan out, I have to go back. See, I went up and over and around, and this is a cliff there. So I have to find a way through. Otherwise, I'm bogged down in the middle of the sandstone, never to be heard from again. So that's the last hope, is to try to find a work through there, or else I have to turn back, because it's the afternoon. See, no matter where I go, I'm running into cliffs. So the whole time, you have to keep saying to yourself, could I go back? So if I get to the point I don't have enough time to go back, I will turn back before I will go ahead. Shit. I gotta go back. Oh boy, I lost a lot of time. Here's the junction. And remember this scene here. If you go that way, you're going to reach all dead ends. So, in effect, I'm headed back the way I came. Now I'm committed because there's not enough time to go back, so I have to make it out. I did my emergency olive oil MCT oil mix that I have in my my fanny pack for life and death. See, I invested a lot of time in those rams, but I've got to keep going because I've got to be able to get through. You know, I can't run out of time. Oh boy, deliverance. There's feature 2. See, I was way down in there with no time left. And I came up here, and it looks like I made it. which I'm glad. If this had been a dead end, you know, it's getting dark pretty soon. That thing is way down in there.